Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. This coming Saturday at the Royal Albert Hall, no less. There is a boxer promotion, boxer BOXXER, Ben Shalom's outfit. It's on Sky Sports. It's an all-female card from the Royal Albert Hall. And Caroline Dubois is defending her WBC lightweight title. Caroline, 10 wins, no defeats. She's never come close to being defeated. 5 KOs out of 10 wins, which is quite a high percentage for a female fighter because of the 10 2-minute rounds. It's a longer duration than the men's. And she's also got a draw, which was in her last fight against Jessica Kamara. And this fight was stopped after 3 rounds. It was a technical draw. And this was because of a cut over Kamara's left eye. There was a head clash. But she was also down in the first round. And Caroline, to be honest, was beating the crap out of her. I mean, had it not been stopped then, I think Jessica would have been stopped, knocked out or probably retired on a stool. She was just taking a real beating. And that was the first defence of Caroline's WBC lightweight title. She initially won the interim belt. I think it was August of last year, and the Jessica Kamara fight was in January. I think it's a quick turnaround. It was January this year. That's that 3-round technical draw. So, but that was after she'd been elevated to the full champ. Because she had all these interim belts and regular belts, always crap. But she is the full fat, high tar WBC lightweight champ. And for those that haven't seen Caroline fight, she's very aggressive, hits hard, big stocky girl, same sort of stock from her older brother, Daniel Dubois, of course. Tough girl. She's about 5'5", 5'6", southpaw, just to add something else to the mix. And at only 24, she's got a lot ahead of her. And she always speaks extremely confidently. She says she's been boxing since she was a girl. Interestingly, she's estranged from her father, Stan Dubois, and Daniel. Stan, I don't think, wanted her to be a boxer. He didn't really pay a lot of attention to her career, and she was thinking, I really want to box. Why can't I box? I feel I've got talent and so on. And now I don't think they're on speaking terms, which is a real sad thing. When parents and their kids become estranged, I think that's a really sad thing. I haven't got kids, but, I can't imagine it being anything other than a horrible experience. But I think Caroline has shown how mentally tough she is, because despite that, she's gone on to, and she is in the process of carving out, a very, very impressive career off her own back. She's trained by Shane McGuigan. I think as an amateur, she was at the Repton Club. I'm not sure about that. I think she was a Repton girl. And she's, this is another defence of her title. Now, I want to do a preview and prediction thing, but to be honest with you, I can't. And the reason I can't is because the opponent, I know nothing about her. Her name is MI RE SHIN, and she is from South Korea, and she's 30 years of age, so she's 6 years older than Caroline. She's got an 18 wins with 10 KOs, so she might have a bit of pop to her punches. 2 defeats, never stopped, and 3 draws record. Okay, so 23 fights, that's quite a few, for a 30-year-old from South Korea. I don't know how many female South Korean fighters there are. But one of the defeats was in 2023, mid-2023, to Delphine Passoon, who is one of the toughest women you will ever see. You'll know Delphine Passoon from those 2 unbelievable wars with Katie Taylor, where she soaked up horrendous amount of punishment. And Delphine won a split decision over Miss MI RE SHIN. And I think she lost a 6th rounder early on in her career. And, but if you look at her record, there aren't any big names on it. Diana Rodriguez had a decent statistical record, 16-2-1, but I'm trying to think if I've seen Diana Rodriguez fight. Anyway, the South Korean lady did win a decision over her, but most of her opponents have, not had great records. Now, we know that the talent pool in women's boxing is kind of thin at the moment, but it is getting deeper gradually as more girls take up pro boxing, or take up boxing in general, of course. So within the next, I don't know, 20 years, it'll be, you know, it'll be good. It'll be good. I mean, this is probably this incarnation of the women's game, which has lasted now for about 12 years, say 15 years tops. Because if you go back to when I was young, you had people like Christy Martin, Lucia Rijker, and Jane Couch in England, and they were. I mean, Christy Martin appeared on a lot of Mike Tyson's undercards. She was good. Layla Ali, Anne Wolfe a little bit later, I think, came along. There have always been good female fighters, but it seems that this newest incarnation of women's boxing is really sort of taking root and growing kind of exponentially. So, and I'm all for that. I love boxing. I've no problem with women's boxing at all. Don't mind it. If grown women want to box, they can box, you know. And there is some entertainment value to be had, definitely. But in order for me to make a prediction on this, I can only go by, with regard to the South Korean lady. I mean, I can only tell you that she's, like I say, she's 30, so she is older than Caroline. She has had 23 fights, so she's got some experience. Most of her fights were in South Korea, although she has fought in the United States, I think, and I want to say Germany. She fought Delphine Persoon, or Denmark. I think it was Germany. And I've only seen like bits and pieces of her on YouTube. I'm trying to remember if I saw that Delphine Persoon fight. I might have done, but I can't remember it. But anyway, the point is I know very little about her, whereas I've seen all of Caroline Dubois' fights. Now, it seems to me that Caroline Dubois is reaching her. I mean, she's 24, so I'd give her another 2 years and she'll be absolutely in her prime. Certainly another 3 years. She's got years ahead of her. She can box for as long as she wants. And I would suspect, from the very little I've seen of the South Korean girl, that Caroline will be too physically strong and too well schooled for her. Now, she hits hard, but let's not dismiss MI RE SHIN's record of 18 wins with 10 KOs. Okay, she hasn't faced anyone even approaching Caroline's stature. And yes, she did lose to Persoon, so she can be outworked, because Persoon is incredibly rugged, but will outwork you, and she's not so much a stylist, more of she uses her physical strength and her determination. Now, physical strength and determination are two things that Caroline Dubois has got in abundance. So I would expect her to. This is a 10-2s fight, so it's the old sprint instead of the marathon or the longer fight. I think Caroline will probably start very quickly, stamp her authority on the fight. It's Southpaw versus, I think, Orthodox, the South Korean girl is. I think Caroline will. I think that might give the South Korean girl a few problems, the Southpaw stance. But I can't see Miss RE SHIN, if that's her surname. She's got 4 names. MI RE SHIN. Okay. You'll have to forgive my ignorance of South Korean names. I apologise. But this young lady, I don't see her being able to deal with the physicality as well as mixed in with the skill of Caroline Dubois. Not if she couldn't handle, Delphine Persoon, who at the time had well over 40 fights, probably close to 50 fights. So I would expect Caroline to definitely win this fight. The question is, can she stop the South Korean girl? I will say no. I think the South Korean girl, even though she's travelling all that way to fight at the Royal Albert Hall, she has fought in, I think it was Germany and United States before, so she has travelled a bit. And I think that experience will hold her in good stead. I think she'll lose most of the rounds, if not all of them. But I'm gonna, even though it's certainly feasible that Caroline might stop her, I'm gonna say that the South Korean lady will last the distance, and Caroline will win very wide. 99, 91, something like that. 92, 98, 98, 92. Maybe even win all the rounds. But that is a very sort of tentative prediction, because, again, I must emphasise I have not seen this South Korean lady, and you just never know. You just never know. At the weekend, there was that young Turkish girl who seemed to appear from nowhere. and absolutely flatten Shauna Brown in Ireland. Elif Turan, her name was. She's going to be a big star, and she flattened the Irish girl inside 50 seconds. So you just never know what's hiding around the corner. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, if you have seen the South Korean lady fight before, please let me know what you think of her, if she's any good. And let me know what you think about this fight. Are you looking forward to this fight? Are you looking forward to the all-female card? I'm always intrigued by it. I'm always intrigued by these. I like watching things grow, like the fact that the female game is growing. And yes, there have been some girls who have picked up belts against, real no-hopers. But that's true of the really good female fighters. I mean, look, Clarissa Shields is the undisputed heavyweight champ of the women's game. And I'm not knocking Clarissa, she's a terrific fighter. But there are precisely 17 female heavyweights in the world. Okay, and yet she's walking around saying she's the undisputed heavyweight champ. Until the women's game gets a deeper gene pool, it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be like going to play second fiddle to the men's game, obviously. Anyway, let me know what you think. Comments below. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button. I always appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to your comments. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and bye for now.